You may watch the live stream in Turner Gymnasium directly behind you. Please be considerate and silence your mobile devices for the duration of the ceremony. We also ask that you remain seated for the processional to allow all family and guests to see the candidates for graduation. In the event of an emergency, announcements will be displayed on the large video board behind the stage. Once the ceremony begins, we ask that you remain seated until all students' names have been called, and immediately following the benediction, only the platform party will participate in the recessional. Diplomas will be mailed to all graduates this summer. We thank you very much for your attention, and congratulations to all. The ceremony will begin shortly.
like the rest of you to stand as you're able for the invocation. God of healing mercies, we gather this morning to celebrate the accomplishments of these candidates for graduation. It seems like only yesterday they received their short white coats and took the PA professional oath. The coat, a mantle reminding them of what it means to be one who is a PA, and the PA professional oath have served them well as guides on their journey. Along the way, these pilgrims exchanged their short white coats for long white coats, outward signs of their entrance into the world as a PA practitioner, active members of healthcare teams providing compassionate and effective patient care. Today, these pilgrims gather once again to receive a prize for staying the course, another mantle, a hood signifying the completion of a Doctor of Medical Science degree, and a diploma, forever reminding them of their journey. Each one of these tenacious and determined pilgrims were faithful to the journey, in spite of the twists and the turns, the joys and the sorrows, patience that pushed them beyond their wildest imaginations, and the tears, so many tears of joy and frustration along the way. They find themselves bonded in mysterious and magical ways with those who traveled with them. For a community forged on a challenging quest, we give thanks. Blessed Healer of Healers, we're grateful for the families and the colleagues of these pilgrims, those individuals who empowered them, encouraged them, and admonished them when they needed it along the way. We're grateful for late-night interventions and all the ways in which they sacrificed to make sure their pilgrim thrived. We're also grateful for faculty and staff who insisted on excellence, and in doing so called out greatness in each one of these pilgrims. Thank you for every single patient these pilgrims encountered along their journey, and for what the encounter did to sharpen them and change them forever. Most Divine Healer, in addition to conferring a degree and hooding these pilgrims, we celebrate a job well done, stamina that went the distance, determination that kept pilgrims going on really hard days, and the sprinklings of hope that appeared along the journey. As a school of PA medicine and as a university community, we are proud of them. May our pride and our joy in these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medical Science unapologetically be reflected in our tears, in our excitement, and in this ceremony as it unfolds. Amen and amen. You may be seated.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Jeremy Welsh, and it's my honor to serve as the Dean of the School of PA Medicine and the founder of the Doctor of Medical Science here at the University of Lynchburg. It's my honor to welcome you to the university today for the Doctor of Medical Science Commencement. Please allow me to welcome to the stage today our honored guest, President Morrison Shetler, Vice President and Provost Dr. Alison Jablonski, and to the screen later today, our keynote speaker, Dr. Rich Hanley. It's also my honor to welcome the parents, family, friends, and loved ones of our graduates today. And of course, most importantly, to welcome the graduating class of 2022 for the Doctor of Medical Science. Please give some love to our graduates today. I also want to tell you that it's my honor to be here on the stage today but not just for me, but to represent the great faculty that are part of the Doctor of Medical Science. An unknown story to many of you is that the Doctor of Medical Science here at the University of Lynchburg came about through a lot of collaboration through myself and many of the people sitting here that you've met throughout your journey at the Doctor of Medical Science. There was a thought once when we were doing our doctorate work that we should create a doctorate that was PA specific, and in our vision at the time, that could help change the profession for the better. And many of those people joined me here, and it's my honor to represent them. So faculty and staff of the Doctor of Medical Science and PA Medicine, please stand and be recognized for all of your hard work. At this time, please join me in welcoming President Morrison Shetler.
Well, good morning and welcome. Welcome to our trustees, our faculty, our staff, parents, friends, and especially the graduating class of 2022. Congratulations. Definitely another round of applause. I'm Alison Morrison Shetler, and I'm the president of this amazing University of Lynchburg. It is my honor and privilege to preside over this glorious commencement ceremony here at the university. Many of you may recall that last year's commencement, or should I say commencements, were my first as your president. That was in 2021, when COVID-19 forced us to adjust to our now normal, and hold not one but 5 separate ceremonies in just 2 days. I'm thrilled, absolutely thrilled, that we continue our path to true normalcy with a ceremony absent from social distancing, masking, limits on guests, and of course, those who wish to wear masks can do so. These past 2 years have been trying for all of us, and students, faculty have worked together on courses that were delivered remotely, sometimes hybrid, but for our undergraduates, mostly in person. Because that's what the Lynchburg experience is all about, that communication, that connection with the faculty that you have all had. Your grit in coming together and responding to a worldwide pandemic represents the ultimate final exam. And I'm so pleased to announce here to the family and friends that you have passed with flying colors. When I arrived a few years ago, I shared my vision for the University of Lynchburg, and that vision is built upon 3 pillars: leadership, respect for diversity, and the pursuit of innovation in all that we do as an individual and as an institution. Already I've seen our future, your future. Your future is taking shape through these many months of the pandemic with the underlying support of those 3 pillars. As you leave this place, please do remember these lessons learned and build your futures atop those 3 pillars of servant leadership, diversity, and innovation. Values that are in the DNA of this institution. I hope that these pillars become as much a part of your genetic makeup as they are a part of mine. Congratulations, graduates, and it is an amazing day to be a Hornet.
Good morning. I'm Allison Jablonski, and I am the Provost at the University of Lynchburg. And I just want to say, welcome, happy morning, age to age, we'll say. That is an opening line to a popular Easter hymn. And I want to welcome you on this happy morning to the University of Lynchburg. Welcome graduates, faculty, friends, and families. Some of us have the privilege every day to come to this beautiful campus and drink in the view. It never gets old. But for some or most of you, this is your first visit to this part of Virginia, and especially happy morning to you. We have been so fortunate to work with these DMSc students during their time with us, and we thank you for allowing us that privilege. Congratulations to each of you, and blessings on you as you celebrate your accomplishments. Welcome, happy morning, age to age, we'll say.
It's my honor at this time to introduce Dr. Rich Handley, the keynote speaker for today. Dr. Rich Handley is the Chief Operations Officer at Wells World Services, an international medical corporation overseeing the medical care of U.S. employees stationed overseas. Prior to obtaining his MD degree and executive leadership roles, he served in several clinical contexts, including as a PA and a naval officer. He still holds his active California PA license in good standing and continues to champion the PA profession by employing world-class PAs at his company, Wells World Services. He is board certified in healthcare management and is a fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives. In 2020, he graduated from Harvard Medical School with a Master's of Healthcare Quality and Safety, and he is very grateful for his balanced career in medicine, executive leadership, and entertainment. He's an award-winning producer, screenwriter, and actor for his psychological thriller, The Black String, starring Frankie Muniz.
Yeah. I have to take this call at a different time. It doesn't work for me. I'm supposed to be over at University of Michigan giving a keynote address, and jacking up my schedule. Oh, hey, sorry you had to hear that. That was my old buddy Murphy over at Murphy's Law Firm, insisting that I get COVID-19 the day after I get to Lynchburg. Yeah, I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to take this call at a different time. I know this timing works for you, but unfortunately, it doesn't work for me. I'm supposed to be over at University of Lynchburg right now giving a keynote address, and you are jacking up my schedule. Oh, hey, sorry you had to hear that. That was my old buddy Murphy over at Murphy's Law Firm, insisting that I get COVID-19 the day after I get to Lynchburg. Yeah, that seems to make sense, right? I fly all the way from California to give my keynote address from my hotel room, which is literally right down the street from where you are. I could be enjoying the festivities and celebrating with you on campus and meeting you and shaking hands and getting to know each of you and your amazing accomplishment. And instead, I am stuck in my room, delivering my keynote to my computer. Brilliant. So I'm gonna make the best of this. Hopefully you still manage to gain something from this experience, as crazy as it may seem. So here we go. Good morning. It is my extreme honor and pleasure to be here. President Morrison Shetler, Dr. Welsh, Provost, Associate Provost, friends, faculty, staff, exceedingly brilliant and patient spouses, your kids who are probably crushing Minecraft in survival mode right now as we speak, tuning me out probably. And let's not forget about you guys, all right? The graduating class of 2022, Doctor of Medical Science degrees in the house. Let's hear it. I want to hear it from you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm down on Church Street. You got to yell. Okay, it's coming in. A little louder, a little louder. Yeah. Okay, there you go. Now we're talking. Congratulations, you guys. You did it. You've arrived. It is my extreme honor to share this amazing day with each of you and unleash what I promise will be your very last, but most epic, 8-hour PowerPoint presentation that you'll ever hear. You may now begin rescheduling your flights, hire a sitter, and trust me, I'm not a complete monster. I mean, I did send over extra sunscreen, water, indwelling Foley catheters, and snacks, Cliff Bars, because trust me, you're gonna be hanging on the edge of your seat every single second. 28,800 seconds to be exact. You laugh now, but I know for a fact that all of you have lived through seemingly absurd moments like this through the course of your studies, both here at the University of Lynchburg and elsewhere. It's mind-boggling, actually. I mean, taken all together, you have lived through thousands of hours of courses, PowerPoint presentations, quizzes, board exams, and many more years of advanced learning or experience in your respective trenches of clinical medicine or leadership roles. It has been an enormous amount of work and patience and long suffering for both you and your families. And putting it all in perspective, this very moment is perhaps the very last of its kind in pursuit of this type of formal education. And I am one of the very fortunate last persons you'll hear from at the end of this grueling journey. All that to say is I feel absolutely no pressure whatsoever. And as one of your peers and equal colleague, I mean, what could I possibly impart to you that would make any difference in your life at all going forward? So thank you, and congratulations. That concludes my keynote address.
Just stay in the ring, Rocco. Yo, got me, Mick.
So I've been a PA for a very long time, and while I no longer practice as a PA, I still hold my C, I hold a California license, and I've had the honor and privilege of hiring some of the best and brightest PAs in the country for my company, Wells World Services. In fact, one of them is a graduate of this very program. As a PA, I have rooted for and championed this amazing profession over my now 26-year career in medicine. And while I obtained an MD degree later in my career, my heart is that of a PA. And being in both sets of shoes gives me a unique kind of empathy, or debilitating, soul-crushing identity crisis. Potato a potato. If polycareer paper chasing is a disease, I have an advanced and curable form of it. In fact, Dr. Welsh and I are starting a support group. You all are welcome to join us after you graduate today because, well, you now qualify. Call that number on your screen for help. And while it's certainly a massive sense of accomplishment to have obtained an advanced degree such as the Doctor of Medical Science, I liken it to taking the Matrix red pill. I'm sure you remember the moment from the film where our hero, Neo, takes the red pill, choosing to embrace the painful reality that the world is not as it seems. Your advanced doctoral training has now made you more acutely aware of those myriad metaphorical agent Smiths, or those mechanical hunters known as the sentinels lurking about in your midst. For example, when it comes to patient safety, latent systems and human errors, often the result of sheer exhaustion and clinician burnout, have led to catastrophic sentinel events, which now, for the first time, have led to an indictment. Rodon Avat RN is now both a felon and a victim. And on the heels of that epic tragedy, how are we to embolden ourselves, our colleagues, and hospital staff to report errors and near misses under a robust, just culture, all in the spirit of continual process improvement and patient safety, when doing so might end our careers, or worse, strip us of our basic freedoms entirely? How are we to move forward under the best intentions without feeling completely terrified? And how is that mind-boggling medication error still possible in today's modern era of clinical informatics, AI force function, and intervention? And how many of us thought when watching the news, whoa, that could have just as easily been me? Probably most of us. Are we truly at the precipice of a slippery slope? I certainly hope not. But it's this kind of controversy that tempts us to simply yank out our Neo headjacks from the back of our necks or down our Mr. Anderson blue pills and remain blissfully ignorant or superficially punitive under the illusion that all is well in the land of U.S. healthcare, thinking it's just a few bad apples. On the contrary, when it comes to the state of the U.S. healthcare system as a whole, with rare exception, we are not at all well. There's so much work to be done, so many vulnerabilities, so many deeply challenging problem sets yet to be conquered. My challenge to you today is to go boldly into your organizations and doggedly fight for the high ideals of balanced accountability and just culture, which exists to encourage you and your personnel to always look for and self-report human error, near misses, and system failure whenever and wherever possible, without fear of retaliation or losing one's job or livelihood. In championing this kind of humble transparency and self-awareness, we continue to improve healthcare quality and safety. Don't be a Mr. Anderson, or worse, an Agent Smith, allowing the Sentinels to take reign of your fortress. Instead, be a Neo. Stay humble, vulnerable, transparent, kind, graceful, inclusive, and go fight for your crews, your teams, and ultimately, your patients. Now, with regard to doctoral degrees for PAs, I remember far back enough when even obtaining a master's degree was thought to be excessive, an unnecessary flex. And I obtained my PA degree from the University of Southern California Keck School of Medicine back in the days when it conferred its first bachelor's degree. And of course, it was conferred by a Tyrannosaurus Rex because it was that long ago. And in the Jurassic period, the PhD was essentially the only advanced degree a PA could get, often taught on stone tablets in between running from raptors and pterodactyls. We've come a long way since then, and thank goodness the practice of medicine has come a long way as well. And the DMSc is the perfect fit in our profession's complex history. Before the DMSc, burgeoning PhD scholars were very excited over the opportunity to pile higher and deeper, or PhD, their knowledge set. And now DMSc candidates, considering their Mount Everest workload, can declare, dang, more science! DMSc, by PAs, for PAs. So go get some. The DMSc has now become the gold standard and best vehicle to propel PAs into executive leadership roles in private and nonprofit hospitals and businesses. Indeed, under the weight of the COVID-19 pandemic, PA program directors were often thrust right into the middle of higher-level institutional decision-making, taking their rightful seats, offering their expertise, and filling the vacuum when institutional knowledge couldn't keep pace with the ever-changing COVID-19 landscape. Not only did we rise to the occasion, our expertise became a permanent, indispensable source of knowledge. And as such, we were handed chief titles, along with responsibilities commensurate with those lofty positions. A great local example of this is our own Dr. Jeremy Welsh, who assumed the Chief Innovation Officer seat here at Lynchburg. The pandemic may have served to hasten these advancements, but it took the very best of our highly trained individuals to see it through and actually pull the Excalibur sword from the stone. Speaking of the need for more science, I've recently read some fear-based articles predicated on a paucity of data, declaring that the PA doctoral degree and name change are unnecessary, all to the detriment and potential peril of our profession and the advancement of modern medicine in general. It pains me to see these arguments persist, unfortunately leveled by a few of my physician colleagues. And to what better end, I ask? Unfounded fear of turf encroachment and patient safety remain at the core of these squabbles. The whole diatribe reminds me of the movie Step Brothers, in which adult brothers Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are forced to live together. Complete insanity ensues, and Dale warns his stepbrother Brennan, "Hey man, don't touch my drum set!" Sound vaguely familiar? Meanwhile, PAs have soared quite literally into space as the chief medical officer aboard a Falcon 9 rocket. Thank you, Elon Musk and PA astronaut Haley Arsenault, for that amazing accomplishment. But it's true. PAs have become hospital CEOs, led massive APP teams in large academic medical centers, served presidents in the White House, held tenured university professor seats at top medical schools, and suffered with and saved the lives of critically ill COVID-19 patients as house officers in overcrowded ICUs all over the country, all the while working at the very top of their licensure. All the while continuing to fulfill their primary role, which is to help fill our country's massive void in access to what the Institute of Medicine declares safe, effective, patient-centered, timely, efficient, and equitable healthcare. No doubt the PA profession will continue to experience its often painful metamorphosis, challenging us to become better equipped and stronger physician-associate collaborators. But you can't keep us down. We are a resilient and steadfast cadre of clinicians and professionals poised and ready to meet the vast challenges that lay ahead. The PA profession might have started out as the little brother to our physician colleagues, but now little Brennan is all grows up. We never said we wanted to grow up and be Dale. We Brennans just want to be adults sitting at the adult table making adult decisions. And while we can't promise we won't touch your drum set, you get the solo. I mean, you're John Bottom for Pete Townsend's sake, all right? You've taken more drum lessons than we have. You played more gigs than we have. We get it. But please don't lose sight of the fact that when push comes to shove, we too can manage the band, hold a very tasty groove, and stay in the pocket when it counts. You want more cowbell? We got more cowbell. The fact of the matter is, we PAs and physicians collaborating together make a pretty awesome garage band destined for the Jumbotron. If we could just keep our wits about us and not break up under the pressures of life on the road, the incessant paparazzi and the glitz and the glam that go along with being rock stars and icons and... Okay, I've probably gone way too far here, but you get my point. The time for this bickering to cease is now. The time for renewed fervor in pursuit of clinical and academic excellence is now. The DMSc exists to do just that. It's here to stay. Physician associates are here to stay. We will and must continue to progress in our pursuit of knowledge and excellence. The enormous complexities of providing access to the very best medical care demanded. The ability to practice medicine, hold the lives of our patients in our hands, and expertly guide massive and complex healthcare organizations into the future demand an education that takes many, many years to achieve. I firmly believe it won't be long before the entry-level PA degree will be a doctorate degree. Are you listening, PAEA? And hopefully it's the DMSc, as to not cause any more confusion than we already have. I mean, how many different types of master's degrees are available for PAs these days, for crying out loud? And at last count, a completely mind-numbing alphabet soup of confusion. Let's not do the same with the doctorate. I'm championing the DMSc not for reasons of degree creep or competing with our much-respected nurse practitioner colleagues for job placement, or even replacing my esteemed physician colleagues, but for reasons of the sheer magnitude of the work at hand and the breadth of knowledge necessary to handle it in an elaborate, ever-expanding healthcare universe. I recently watched a new and fascinating Elon Musk interview in which he was asked to share his thoughts on the future of technology, including self-driving cars, clean energy production and storage, space exploration, and various forms of robotics, all ushering in what he called the age of abundance, all made possible by creating more efficient forms of energy, which will translate across all sectors of our world economy, business, manufacturing, and of course, medicine. And this got me to thinking, for mostly selfish reasons, if I'm being completely honest. I want this for my incredible wife and my wildly talented kids and their future kids. But thinking altruistically as well, I want it for all of us. I mean, for the whole world. It's going to take all of us working together to achieve it, right? And at the risk of sounding way too much like John Lennon, Imagine a world where we're not fighting over natural resources or boundaries, which would include access to scarce medical resources. Imagine a world where a great education and healthcare is available to every person on the planet. Imagine a healthcare world where quality and safety match the same level that SpaceX seeks in its pursuit of putting us on Mars, or Tesla putting exceptionally safe self-driving cars on every road in every major city in the US. We are almost there in all of these endeavors. I believe that access to sustainable and renewable sources of energy, AI, and robotics will usher in these possibilities, this age of abundance. Our Matrix Zion is just over the horizon. If we'll just down our red pills, keep our wits about us, love one another, share our drum sets, roll up our sleeves, and get to work. Thank you very much once again, University of Lynchburg, for this incredible honor. But most importantly, congratulations once again to our Doctor of Medical Science degree graduates. Godspeed, and go make us proud. Thanks.
By the Board of Trustees will now be conferred and reaffirmed.
Will all candidates for the degree of the Doctor of Medical Science please rise? President Morrison Shetler, I have the honor to present 257 candidates for the degree of the Doctor of Medical Science. These candidates have successfully completed the course of study assigned, have been certified by the faculty of the university, and approved by the Board of Trustees. And I ask that you, by your official act, confer and reaffirm upon them this degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and on the recommendation of the faculty of the University of Lynchburg, I confer and reaffirm upon these candidates the degrees of Doctor of Medical Science with all honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
I also present 125 2022 candidates for the degree of the Doctor of Medical Science who expect to qualify for their degree by the end of the summer session. Subject to the completion of degree requirements, diplomas will be issued in September. The degree candidates will come forward to be recognized along with the degree recipients. Will all doctoral candidates please be seated except the first row of candidates who are asked to come forward to the platform.
Jennifer Rolland. Ashley Renee Drogue. Janice Bediaco Smith. Petra Chandelier Seeley. Miranda Warenick. Latoya Brownlee. Antoinette Izzo. Natalie Olivia Caprell. Taria Sharon Moore. Tracy Monique Dixon. Jacqueline Marie Small. Heather Marie Barrett. Tracy Lynn Funk. Wesley Neal Reed. Gerald Francis Smith. Carla Hembrick Miller. Tanya Monique Williams. Christopher Antoine Perkins. Beata Rodson. Christopher Richard Cannell. Kathleen Joy Horsley. James Patrick McGraw III. Nasaidabong Jacob Edith. Amatul Noor Ali. Lisa Petrangelo. Annie Rose Rutherford. Jessica Alvarez Camarena. Amanda Ray Jones. April Fry. Jenny N. Masick. Rosa Crawford. Bethany Chamberlain. Dominic James Napoli. Kevin Scott Johnson. Leonard Gonzalez. Melissa Marlene Rice. Janaline Shepard Hall. Alexandra Marie Fournette Harris. Tiffany Andrews Bridges. Shelby Lynn Smiley. Naveed Ahmed. Christian Bruce Ratke. Jeffrey William Williams. George Anthony Carambellis. Stephanie Elizabeth Hush. Emily Catherine Sullivan. Casey Kathleen Carter. Haley Nicole Kemp. Susan K. Smith. Tamara Lee Van Dyke. Olympia Vega Sturgis. Nancy Vanafon. Donnell Dawn DeReamer. Sarah Catherine Stringer. Amy Nicole Wagner. Last name? Sonicson. Julia Ann Sonicson. Amanda Murray. Aaron Robert Morton. Stephanie Clark Mayberg. Paula Marie Amon. Kevin Daniel Vaughn. Gustavo Toshio Roldan. Robert D. Grigg. Anessa Slifer. John Fitzgerald Rice. Rachel Elizabeth Cushing. Rachel Kelly Schulman. Karen Michelle Timbrook Dillow. Enoma Ewaman. Simerjet Singh Diawal. Robert E. McKenna. Caitlin McLean Lefford. Stephanie Marie Inman. Amni Jamal Amro. Abby Jane Rogers. Ryan Scott Cates. Sean Timothy Buller. Devin Nano. First name? S.A. McGay. Ifeanyi Ajimobi. Angela Lashevsky. Claudia Campuzano. Kelly Johnson Bumgarner. Brandon Fraser Weish. Pascal Diane LeCure. Yvette Louise Belay Lani. Christian Elizabeth Celery. Deanna Leigh Leach. Wendy Jean Rikers. William Alcibiades Martinez. Luis Fernando Trevino. Sarah M. Wilchowski. Jared Matthew Leno. Chantel Casey Burford. Elvis Arturo Salas Alvarez. Robert Stevenson. Dennis Boateng.
When you were messing with it, I had to restart it. I don't know if it. You know if that fixed it?
Julie Michelle Binky. Morgan Brooke Martin. Zura Aziz. Victoria Anna Marie Christensen. Emily Jo Harefield. Golda Liza Sobel. Valentina Staffen. Lakeisha Tamara Logan. Adibuega Obiginja Orlaja. Matthew Daniel Hastings. Elizabeth Lee Lowry. Amanda Wilder Lark. We're going to let them catch up here for a second. Kevin Accor. We'll let them catch up on the hooding here for a second. Preston Landon Williams. Reagan Ochieng Mayer-Inga. Laura N. Ocollier. Samuel Gordon Hathcock. Portia Adele Chillis. Namarta Gill. Colin Scott Malcolm. Katie Alyssa Berkeley. Melissa Jean Chaffron. Joshua Bejo Silva. Alex Michael Lower. Jacob Albert Wooten. Samantha Ashley Mitchell. Seema Solaria. Faith Anyango Richard. Greg Martin Wilkinson. Frederick Keith Starwalt. Michael Duck-Trong. Christopher Michael Berry. Christina Elizabeth Williams. Larice Ingram. Dina Diane Anderson. Christine Louise Thomas. Suzanne Francis Lubke. Catherine Marie Lopez.
Was that not marked in the system?
Douglas Lee Fajan.
It should be fine. I'll scan it when it comes to it, but it needs to be manually inputted. It might be.
Azalicia Rodriguez. Asana Rashad. Wahito? Leah Wahito Radnick. Anna Catherine Morris. Emily Rose Caparoli. Addie Rhodes Littleton Carr. Kaylee Elizabeth Dunn. Anthony Joseph Doan. Kendallin Noel Hirsch. Stephanie Marie Padilla. Paul Carpenter McCartney. Justin Craig Morrison. Caitlin Yvonne Melton. Emily Herbert. Say it again. Samantha Jean DeSources. Melissa P. Young. Okay. So did we lose the feed altogether?
Yeah, we lost this piece
Wow.
halfway through, yeah. It's on there. It's on there. Yeah, it's on there. It was working.
Well, that video threw everything off. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think he was relating very well to the graduates. So I wonder what caused that dropout.
Who knows? I think it's from where it's the wireless signal. I think it's pretty shaky to begin with.
Okay, will it?
I know we were going to, but it was overruled. I don't know why.
Well,
We were planning on going with yesterday. They're like, yeah, we're gonna do this now.
well, what about a signal booster in between? A relay?
Yeah, see, I have no idea.
because, you know, in radio, when we can't, you know, connect directly, we do it in links. And so, you know, you can link this one to one and link, you know, and hopefully we'll maintain that. Yeah. Well, the NBC affiliate I used to work for, when they went on the air in 1956, up in the mountains of Southwest Virginia, southern West Virginia, AT&T wanted like $10,000 a mile to put the video cable in from Roanoke to there, and they weren't going to pay that. So they went to Channel 10, which is downtown Roanoke, and got a line of sight up to Poor Mountain. And they put a guy with a pair of binoculars and a mirror, and when he saw the guy with the mirror, he wrote down the coordinates. And they went from there to Poor Mountain, and from Poor Mountain to East River Mountain, doing the same thing. Guy with a pair of binoculars, guy with a mirror. So when you got the coordinates, you wrote it down. And they took a microwave link and went from Channel 10 in Roanoke to Poor Mountain to East River Mountain to the station. And that was their NBC feed until they went satellite in the 80s. Wow. It was almost 30 years. No, that was middle 50s. So. And it's still the backup today. It's the satellite goes out. Well, it is, you know, the mother of necessity thing. You know, what do you do when you up against it? Right. So I'm just thinking, if we could link it, you know.
Because it's going, they moved it, originally it was going from here to the booth, but they moved it down there. So I don't.
Please join me now in giving these graduates a large round of applause and congratulations.
Again, congratulations. What an amazing day for the University of Lynchburg, for our graduates, and for the PA profession. I'd like to take a moment to share with you a tradition that we have here at the University of Lynchburg's DMSc Commencement. The tradition is the passing of the challenge coin, which has been presented today to all of the DMSc graduates. The coin has been directly handed to our graduates, and this comes from a tradition that started at our first commencement ceremony. General Shepard Stone, an alum of our first class, handed the faculty a challenge coin, thanking us for the creation of the program. And since then, we've continued the tradition with the DMSc challenge coin. We hope that you will hold the coin with honor and talk about it fondly as you talk about the University of Lynchburg and your experience here. I would also like to remind the grads that at the end of the ceremony today, if you can go straight back to the white tent, the University of Lynchburg faculty and staff would like to honor you with a gift and thank you for being here today. As we close up, I'd like to say a special thank you to the residential students that are here with me today. For them, it's been 3 years. I've watched you grow and learn the art of medicine and your communication style. You have contributed to the legacy here in our community, and that will last forever. On this journey, you've contributed to what we've all been trying to build, and you've allowed me to partner with you to be able to reach our mutual goals. Some days, your passion carried me when I wasn't sure I could keep going. Some days, I smiled when I didn't really want to, and I'm sure you felt the same. You made this possible in more ways than I can ever express. So please let me tell you how much I appreciate you and thank you for investing in my life. I'd also like to take a minute today to recognize some award recipients and special guests today. If you can and are present, please rise as your name is called. For the Doctor of Medical Science Educational Leadership Award, Dr. Sarah Stringer. for the Doctor of Medical Science, Advocacy and Leadership Award, Dr. Sarah Wilczowski. And for the Doctor of Medical Science, Emergency Management and Global Health Award, Dr. John Christensen. I'd also like to take a moment to say thank you to a special guest that's here today and my mentor. As the President and CEO of the Virginia Academy of PAs, I'd like to thank Dr. Rose Rutherford for mentoring me and being part of my journey. So thank you, Rose. And last but not least, of course, is our PA medicine faculty who have also now graduated from the Doctor of Medical Science, Dr. Nikki Dellis and Dr. Melissa Shaffron. Thank you for all the great work and dedication. As my parting words to all graduates, you've made a difference today. Education is power, and you are very powerful and engaged individuals that really and truly have the opportunity to rewrite the game. With focus and intensity, I ask you to return to your professional lives after this weekend, and please become the change you've always wanted to be. Be proud of the title you have earned. The title of doctor does not come without responsibility. Be proud of what you are, and never ever shy away or diminish how hard you worked to accomplish your doctoral degree and to be a doctorally educated PA. Never say, I'm just a PA. You know that you've worked hard to be here. And after today, you get to pick your mindset. And I hope that you'll pick a positive mindset and contribute to the positive change around you. You are unstoppable. And most actively, I want you to work as a catalyst to change and contribute to the rebuilding of healthcare. I was telling some of the grads last night during our reception a story that I've sometimes included in my speech. And that's what's the value of the doctorate degree. The really brief version of that story is finishing your doctorate degree and tucking it away in your pocket is like purchasing a membership to Costco. You never go, you never use it, you paid for it, and you never tell anybody you had it. There's no impact. By finishing your doctorate today, be proud of what you have. Talk about it. Tell people about your experience and use that to have that positive change. You now have the membership card. Now I want you to use it and be part of everything you've always wanted to do. So I'm proud of each of you and extremely honored today to call you a PA, to call you doctor, and to call you my colleague. Could all the recipients of the Doctor of Medical Science degree please rise and be recognized today? Thank you again and congratulations.
One quick announcement before we end our ceremony. After the benediction, our platform party will recess down the middle aisle. We ask that you remain in your seats until they make their way to the back. Congratulations, graduates. With that, receive this benediction, which in my tradition, at its purest sense, is a call to action. Go from this place workplace, reminded of your calling to change the world through PA medicine. Invest in others, touch lives, and serve as the healers that you were meant to be. Go and continue to transform the world one patient at a time. May it forever be so. Amen.